Good morning, everyone. This is Gail Dudley with your News in Motion. Today is Monday, July the 27th. How are you? Listen, we're just going to cut through the chase. Let me know in the comment section whether you're watching this live or on a replay, how many people did you get to register to vote in the last 2 weeks? Add that in the comment section. Good morning, Brenda Randleman. Let me know, let everyone know, how many people did you speak with? Did you send out emails? What is it that you have been doing the last 2 weeks when it comes to getting people registered to vote? That's the sole purpose of News in Motion in this season, is getting people registered to vote. So let me state my case. First up, we have, as seen on PBS News Hour, the judge blocks the U.S. agents from arresting observers in Portland. Now get this, those observers, what's up, Deborah? Those observers are journalists and legal observers. So here's my question. Why are you arresting and forcefully attacking journalists and legal people? What is it that you do not want us to see? And by the way, in Portland, they have been protesting 60 straight days. They're in it for the long haul. They're in it. They're not backing down. They're in it. That's one of my arguments for a reason to vote. The next one, as seen in Forbes, you have, okay, thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Brenda, for working on someone. You have Senator Tom Cotton, who introduces bill to prevent schools from teaching the 1619 project. Look that up so you can get all the information you need on that. But he wants to cut off federal funding to public K-12 schools that teach the 1619 project. His bill is called Saving American History Act of 2020. Hey, what's up, Zoe? Hello, Beverly Woodard. But so what you want us to erase slavery from history? What? And why are you trying to defund schools? Y'all, this is crazy. This is why we vote. Again, this is my sole purpose in this season for doing News in Motion. We need to state the case and argue our point of why we must vote. Not argue with people, but encourage them to vote. There's a lot on the line. Y'all, news this weekend, it could have depressed me, but I refuse to allow it to do so. But there's an urgency for us to get out and vote. There's an urgency. As seen in Fortune, the occupant of the Oval, he backed the Postmaster General's plans to slow the mail delivery. So if we're moving to a place of doing mail-in ballots, y'all, and he's backed the Postmaster to slow mail delivery, what does this mean? Even now, we need to be writing into our representatives. If you are a voter, if you are a registered voter, to write into our representatives. And let me know in the comment section if you're saying, well, I don't even know where to start. Is there a template, or what does this look like? If you want to do a webinar with me or a Zoom meeting for all of us to get on and talk about what that looks like, I am willing to do that. I just need to know. So comment that in the comment section if you're saying, yeah, I want to know how to write a letter or an email to my representative. Because we need to be asking these questions now and not waiting until later. This is real, y'all. This is real. You know, and then I have to laugh because I keep hearing in my head. Now, I'm able to remember it from, I guess it's now been Thursday, but we got person, woman, man, camera, and TV. What was that? And I can remember, so I must be pretty good in my mental faculties. But what was that? Why are we focused on that? What is the distraction, and what is he trying to get us off of to have us repeating person, woman, man, camera, and TV? What is that? Secretary Mnuchin says 1 trillion GOP, I like how they named it GOP, coronavirus relief plan is set to release today. But there are reports that there's infighting within the GOP, the lawmakers, and the White House, which has stalled the plans. But just know that Their relief is expiring. I believe it expired on Friday. They need a plan. There's too many people out here, over 30 million people that are faced with unemployment in the U.S. Now, before we jump on Pelosi, let me just say this, whether you like her or not, she's saying that she's going to oppose it. Now, remember I said last week that she knows how to count her votes. She knows she does not have the vote in the House for what it is the GOP Senate wants to pass. She knows the votes aren't there. So she's saying we're not going to piecemeal a plan. And hear this, she doesn't want to have to keep going back. We need to dig deeper into why she's taken the stance that she's taken. And from what I can read, she's really looking out for the people. So again, why we must vote. And trust me, she's still being political as well. So vote.gov, iwillvote.com, vote.org, rockthevote.org, readypublication.com, and hit the Ready to Vote campaign icon, whenweallvote.org, and October the 5th. October the 5th is the last day to register to vote, to be able to vote in the November 3rd election. With that being said, still check your Secretary of State's website to see what it is they're doing and during this pandemic, if any dates have changed. Do not sleep on it. That's why it's like, don't even wait till October the 5th. Do it today. Y'all, there's an urgency just with what I just shared. And there was so much news and I don't have time to pack it all in here, but just to know what's happening. Now, this is what I love about people like LeBron James. You know, last week I gave him the win for the I Promise Village. This week I just have to give them a shout out. LeBron James, he's helping Florida ex-felons pay fees so they can vote. Remember, they tried to do a poll tax in Florida so that the ex-felons could not vote in the upcoming election. He said, oh, no, we're not about to do that. So his campaign is partnering with a Florida voting rights group to help formerly incarcerated people pay their fines that block them from casting votes. Now, just imagine this as a community. Anytime we see that people are being blocked, we will have a committee, we will have a campaign, we will have funds to be able to help people. So it's like whatever you try to do to block us from voting, we're going to unblock it because we have a pot of funds that's going to step in and do the work because voting is important. Speaking of that, and Lawrencine Howard, if you're on here, please comment, even if you're watching the replay. What's up, Doris Miller? Please comment in the comment section, Lawrencine, about your friend who's running for judge in Cincinnati, Ohio. She gave a live on Saturday, I believe, and she was talking as she was out registering people to vote in Cincinnati. There was a young man who was an ex-felon. They approached him to ask him if he's been registered, and he told them that he couldn't register because he's an ex-felon and he lives in Ohio. Know the laws, because in Ohio, that doesn't apply in Ohio. So they got him registered, and he's excited, and he's getting other people to register. All of these years, he had been out for several years, he was under the understanding that he could never register to vote and that he could never vote. So we even need to expose the lies and educate people. But if we're not talking about it, no one knows. That's why I am continuously saying, come on, y'all, let's do something. Let's talk about it. Let's educate people. Let's keep them in the forefront. Hello, Demia Clark Candai. Let's keep people in the front of knowing the truth. So again, Lawrencine, if you're on here, if you watch the replay, please put down your friend's name who's running for judge in Cincinnati. But y'all, in Ohio, you can be an ex-felon and still register to vote and vote. You can. In Ohio, you can do that. The only reason you cannot do that is if there was voter fraud. But other than that, you can register to vote. So please, people, let your friends know, family know, who think that they cannot vote because they've been ex-felon in different states. Just know the laws. And again, I'm a resident of Ohio. So in Ohio, that doesn't apply to anyone here. And we're one of the few states that do that. But we are. So again, shout out to LeBron James. He's like, there's a poll tax in Florida. You want them to pay fees? No problem. We can pay their fees. Go LeBron James. All right, y'all, these numbers. Yeah, coronavirus. There's 4,371,839 cases. Remember, I get my numbers from who? The World Health Organization. Deaths, we're knocking at 150,000, and probably by the end of today, we will be there. We're at 149,849 deaths. Recovered, this is a celebration. There are 2,090,129 that have recovered from the coronavirus. That's exciting. Now, remember I talked about the postal worker where the occupant of the office wants to slow the moving of the mail, which that's just so weird to me. But anyway, there are nearly, this was in Fortune, there are nearly 6,190 USPS employees have tested positive for COVID-19. More than 60 have died. Y'all, when you get your mail from the mailbox, wear your gloves or make sure you are Cloroxing your doorknobs and stuff down. Do not put your mail on your kitchen counters. Put it somewhere else. Open it with your gloves. Who knows? And nearly 40,000 workers have had to quarantine for 2 weeks after exposure to the virus, according to a source close to the United States Postal Service. And then, y'all, if you live in Ohio, I think we should say bring back Dr. Amy Acton. But if you're in Ohio, Dr. Briggs was here in Columbus. I'm a resident of Ohio, but as I shared, and she said that Columbus could be the next COVID-19 hotspot. That's a little scary. So that's happening. And again, y'all, I just keep thinking as I'm talking. So I must have really good cognitive mindset here. What was it? Person? Woman, man, camera, TV. That just keeps playing in my head. It's like, we're really doing that. All right, y'all, for the win. We had the WNBA players who walked off the court during the national anthem and dedicated delayed season to Breonna Taylor. So the WNBA players for the win. This was the Seattle Storm and the New York Liberty players. They walked off the court with a message of racial justice. As protests around the country continue, the players dedicated 26 seconds of silence to the entire season. The entire WNBA season to Breonna Taylor for the win. So get down, yes, WNBA. Before I go into my inspirational message real quick, October the 5th, y'all. October the 5th is the last day to register to vote to be able to vote in the November 3rd election. Again, check your Secretary of State's website. Just go to your Secretary website, check it out. You can also find this information on rockthevote.org. You can also find it on iwillvote.com. You can also find it on vote.org. You can also find it on readypublication.com and hit the Ready to Vote campaign. So the inspirational message, I want to say this, raise the question. Raise the question, which is, who told you that? Who told you that? When you get information and you're like, I don't know, you need to ask the question, who told you that? Who told you that information? This is why I'm encouraging all of us, research the content, research the source where we are getting our content from. If it doesn't sound right, more likely it's not right. I am seeing pictures circulating with Jeffrey Epstein with the occupant of the Oval in the back of a car. That's not him. That's a doctored photo. That's a doctor photo. That is his daughter in that back seat with him. And if you look at that image, you would see her long hair beyond where someone took and put his face on top of her face. When there's information out there that doesn't seem to be correct, do your research. Ask the question, raise the question, who told you that? When someone's telling you you cannot succeed or you cannot get people to register to vote, ask the question, who told you that? Because I can get people to register to vote. I can talk to people about voting. Listen, go on your own live. Again, do some more emails this week. This week, what's up, Ladybug? This week, this is my ask. 2 weeks ago, I asked you to just reach out to one person who you don't believe has registered to vote. Last week, I said email people, share your story. I asked you to go and do Facebook Live, share it on social media. This week, I'm asking you to write letters to your representatives. This week, again, as I shared earlier, if you're like, well, I don't know where to start. If we need to do a webinar or a Zoom conference, I'm up for doing that this week. Just let me know in the comment section if it's something you're interested in doing. But we need to ask the question, who told you that? Who told you that? And I can cover that on the webinar as well. Who told you that? You can write letters. You can reach out to the people that you need to reach out to. You are successful. You can be successful. You will rise up. You will lead this movement. You can continue. We're not going to get tired. Again, Portland has been at it for 60 days straight protesting. 60 days. They have a system. I talked about systems last week. The system of we just rotate. We have a schedule. We're rotating. We're getting this information out there. It's never ending. Y'all, we can rest just for about 48 hours come November the 4th. We can rest about 48 hours. Then we got to get back in the rink, because after you voted, after the election is over, things don't end. We then have to hold people accountable. We have to hold people accountable. So that's what I have for you today. I really do. Let me know. Please comment in the comment section. If you have questions about voting, if you have questions about where to start, let me know in the comment section. I will do my best to do whatever research I need to do and get you the answer. Until tomorrow, you all have a beautiful Monday. And remember to raise the question, who told you that? Peace out.